All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to Pocket Change. This is the podcast where we talk about what happened this week to us in our reselling journey and give you some tips and tricks that we've learned along the way. Hopefully, they're helpful to you because they were helpful to us if we would have known them before we made the mistake. I'm joined by my co-host, Joel. Now that you're done drinking water, Joel, hey, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, everybody? It's going great.
I like this video stuff. I can see you now.
It is pretty cool, isn't it? I don't know, though. We're still putting on Spotify. I know we're doing a lot of video stuff here. Are we still putting on Spotify, too?
Yeah, I'm still putting it out everywhere, just as a video podcast as well. So it's a video podcast everywhere, but it's on 14 different sites. So if they don't support video, it just strips out the audio. I still haven't figured out Apple because I haven't been able to fix my account on there. So I'll figure that out.
I like how you're numbering the show now. Number 37. Yes. Number 37.
37. Yeah, and we missed one here or there. So, we're doing our best, people. Sorry about the other traveling. Just messed me up. I didn't get my internet straightened out for the first 5 days. So.
Yeah, if you watched our last one, he had to sign up for an account. Anyway, so how's your week been? You've been back for a couple days. You got home and you've been packing up packages ever since. Ever since. Because how did the sales end up?
I ended up selling while I was gone 16 packages. I did 9 the first week, 7 the second week. And then right as I was waiting for this to start, I sold one more thing, so I went and packed that.
Sweet.
But they were all small. So I did 150 last week. This week I ended up with 137.
Cool.
No, can't complain.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. This is the world's most uncomfortable seat.
Yeah. You're a little higher, though.
I'm setting up more.
Your head is almost equal to mine, and I'm slouched.
Adjusted my camera.
Okay. You need to get a better seat. I can almost see the bottom of your beard. That thing goes on forever.
Anyway, it's not as long as I want it to be. I got a better seat.
That's what they all say. Even the big ones. Yeah. It's never long enough. It's like people are like, man, you're really tall. I'm like, nah, I'm short. I'm 6. I would like to be like 6'4", at least. 6'8" would be better.
Sell something $30.
Let's go.
Then,
I may have sold more than you, but percentage-wise, I didn't. Because I've got 1,300 items. And I sold 10 total. And you have how many items?
Now I have 105.
And you sold how many?
1.
Yeah, so percentage-wise, we're pretty much right there in the same boat.
Yeah.
So for every 100, you get 1.
There you go. For every 100 you... I did better than that. You sold 16 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Of course, I sold 2. But I had this strangest thing, and I get so tired of this. I've really got to figure this out. You get these stupid offers on low dollar items.
Yes.
Or you get the watch on low dollar items, and eBay bugs the crap out of you to give them an offer. I got 3 messages. You have watchers on this item. I'm like, it's a $7.99 item. What do you want me to do?
Give them 20% off.
I'm not giving them 20% off. I did do 10%. It was like, here you go. But I'm like, if you really want something and it is $7.99 and you want a deal on that. But anyway, so I did sell a jacket, a ladies' jacket, and I think I'm going to have to go fix my jacket section because I think I'm actually low now for some reason. I don't know why, since we're coming into the summer. But I know I lost money on this last jacket I sold because it showed me comparison items as now. It started doing that, like when you sell, or sometimes it does that when you sell. It shows you like a comparison item, and it was the exact same item. It was like $60. And I was like, are you...
And what'd you sell it for?
32. So...
Well, they got a hell of a deal. And you know what? You were happy with it.
Yeah, I was very happy with it. I did get to go clean out my old office, so I'll be fixing that this week. So I did get a new chair, but my wife took it.
That's fine. The way that works.
But you remember that big painting? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if they're still on here or not. But if you go way back to our very first video podcast, you might see this gigantic painting in the background. I don't know. Didn't I take it off the wall? I don't remember. Anyway, this thing is,
I think you had to take it off the wall because it was reflecting.
yeah, this thing is massive. And I almost left it behind, and I wish I had, because the thing is, it is 42 inches wide by 28 inches tall.
That's pretty
The
big.
thing is humongous. I can't imagine what a box sport's going to cost. But I did my little phone Google thing,
Yeah.
and it comes back like $150, and I'm like, Jesus, fine, I'll take it with me. So you guys can go to our Instagram and see pictures of the ugly duckling. We've talked about how big that light box. I don't think it'll fit in it. If it will, it's just barely going to fit in that massive light box.
Now you got to buy the bigger light box so you can sell that painting.
No, I'm not doing it. I am going to try to list it. I'm going to sell it because I figure, you know what? They're going to pay for shipping on it. So the thing's heavy, the thing's huge. If you want it, it's a beautiful painting.
What's the size? 48?
It's like 42 by 28 or something like that.
32.
Yeah.
So 46 by 32 box.
Probably going to have to go to a 48 by 36 because you're probably not going to find a box that right size unless you custom make one.
36 by 48.
Mm-hmm.
5-pack of side-loading corrugate boxes. How much do you think it is for a 5-pack?
I think it's probably $129.
$125.92. $25 a box.
That's why I'm like, geez. And I think the thing probably weighs 20 pounds. So it's in this massive frame. I couldn't even get it and bring it over here and show it from the camera. Would not even pick it up. It's that.
There's one other box that size, and it's $126. So you're looking at $25 for the box.
Yeah.
But you can't just buy one. You're going to have to buy 5. See, it's going to be $100 layout to sell $150. But that means you need to find 4 more big paintings.
It would be cheaper for me to build a wooden frame for that thing.
Although the shipping would go up.
I'm not paying shipping. I'm sorry.
True.
Talking about things we've learned this week, I was looking for something on eBay, and I was reading feedback on a particular seller because they're at a 98.6. They got 4,305 feedback. That means they've probably sold 30,000 items to get that much feedback. Because let's face it, most people don't leave feedback, which is ridiculous. They'll read yours to buy a package, to buy something, but they will not leave it for you. It's crazy how that is. But I was reading through some of the comments, and I was like, really? This is ridiculously nitpicky. There was one lady that gave a negative review because the seller used the wrong type of styrofoam. The lady commented, and I'm assuming it was a lady, I don't know, it was a name like Christine 427 or something was like the thing or whatever, the buyer, something along those lines. It's Christine with some numbers behind it, 4 something. Anyway, apparently she really hates it when you use the expanding foam bags. Shippers get these bags. I don't have them because you might have them at
They're
work.
way too expensive. So she complained about something that someone paid a lot of money to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad for the environment. And I'm like, they packaged your crystal. You bought these crystal items, and they took the time to put them in a box and use the break it apart foam or whatever. It's in a little gray bag, and it expands to actually fit and fill the void so that your crystal would be absolutely protected, and then complained about it. I'm like, really? That's what you wanted to do? But yeah, feedback can get crazy. It really can. I'm a little upset that I went out of my way to make sure that some people got their stuff, and yet then they didn't leave me any feedback.
People don't leave feedback.
Maybe it's better to not have feedback if somebody's going to get mad about the fact you spent 3 times as much as you could have. My crap goes in a poly bag, and you like it or lump it.
Exactly. There you go. Leave me feedback.
Yeah.
Up yours, lady.
Now, I wouldn't put a painting in a poly bag. I don't know. I might if it's big enough.
I got some really big poly bags.
Do they make a poly bag at a 48 by 36?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I have some that are not that big. Pretty close to that, though.
Did you imagine what would happen to that
Get
painting
in
if
a
it,
poly bag. Oh, wrap it in bubble wrap and then do the foam around it and then just stick it in a poly bag. Probably make it just fine.
it probably would actually. It probably
Yeah.
would.
We waste all this money on the $25 boxes.
But yeah, so anyway, that's where I've been this week. I still haven't had a chance to take all my stuff down and put it back up and do the research, but I'm going to have to because I'm losing money. But I
Mm-hmm.
decided that to make it right, it needs to coincide with the first day of the month. So I should be taking stuff down Tuesday and getting it set to go back on starting on May 1st. Because I did read one article that said the best way to sell on eBay, and one of the things they suggested, and of course, I don't know, I might see what I think of it, but it said to have enough items to where you can have an even number going for every day of the year. And yet I go, wait a minute, wouldn't that mean though that, and I guess I'm wrong on this, because wouldn't that mean that that you're basically on autopilot? But I guess if you're taking them down and putting them back up
You're still working.
you're still doing it and still doing the
Yep.
algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm kind of curious, bring up the calculator, but if you got 365 days times, say, 5 items, you need 1,825 items, which you could easily do that. I, on the other hand, would not have anywhere near that. That would take a long time to build up. So I don't recommend that, folks. I really don't. That's just something somebody else has put up there. Maybe one of the things we try to do. But the biggest thing that I read in the article was that you either have an eBay business or you have an eBay hobby. What's your take on that, Benz?
A hobby can be a business. A business can be a hobby. Mine is a business. It's an S corp. I'm paying the taxes, but it is just a hobby. I left for 2 weeks and didn't post anything and didn't do anything. Actually, I just let it run, do its thing. I sold 19 items. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I only need to pay the bills. So I guess it's just a hobby for me. But you have to run it like a business either way. I have a spreadsheet. I keep records of everything. So mine's a business. A hobby would be like, whatever. I'll try to sell something this week and then not next week. I don't know.
And that's what I took it by the article was you're either serious about it or you're not. You know, and I get it. And I felt like after reading the article, I was like, I've treated mine like a hobby for the last 6 months, I guess, because I've left it on autopilot a lot and just sold one item here or there. I mean, for crying out loud, I was looking at my stuff, and I mean, for the last 90 days, I've done like $500. Whereas back last fall, I was doing that a month.
Yeah, and you were just starting out. So
Yeah.
I understand what they're saying. But even though it's a business for me, when I have to work, it's not the thing paying my bills, so I have to put it aside. And I'm sure I could get it to the point where it did pay my bills. But then sometimes I think, do I want to work that hard? You know? I think eBay paying your bills, and a lot of these people that are full-time resellers, they're working way harder than I am in general.
I don't know. The lady that, and so many of them, and there's another thing too, is as you do research on them, you listen to many other podcasts, you're listening to this, I'm sure you're listening to others. So you notice that a lot of the full-time eBay sellers, a bulk of them that you listen to, are part of an equation. And what I mean by that is, just like Ben's and I, we have spouses who work and they bring in money. So it's kind of the lady that I bring her up again, Desert Sellers. I really like listening to her. I don't listen to her every day, but I listen to her when she throws up an interesting article, especially the one where she got sued a few months ago and it freaked her out. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. She got sued over something? Let me see this.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued. That was over selling fake stuff. We've talked about that in a previous podcast. So be careful what you're sourcing. And if it's not the regular item, don't say it's the real brand name item. eBay's catching on to that too, and they're trying to do things to protect sellers through their authenticity stuff, and they're also trying to put out notes. I've seen several notes here lately, especially when you're looking at stuff, check brand names on this, blah, blah, blah. Listen, her husband works, and I think he brings in the bulk of the money. But still, there are eBay sellers who are doing it full time. There was a trying to think of the name. I watched them 2 weeks ago, just briefly while I was tired one night, and I'm trying to look them back up. But it's a husband and a wife team who are both doing eBay, and they both have their own accounts and their own selling accounts on eBay, which I thought was really cool. They have separate accounts and they compete against each other to see who's going to make the most money for the month and who's going to source the biggest item. And that's neat if you can do that. I don't think you and I, either one, are there, and I'm not sure that our wives would be that interested in pursuing.
My wife does the feedback. She likes to do the feedback. Beyond that, I've showed her how to do everything else. And I just shut down the store for 13 days because I was going somewhere for work, and she works from home. I love my wife to death. We started this together. She was truly into it for a month, and then she said, "Not my hobby, your hobby." And I'm like, okay. Well, but she likes doing the feedback, so she helps.
If you get back to the whole part of hobby versus business and you do this the right way, it's a lot of work. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, it can be rewarding, and it's very exciting when you get the message or the little ching that says something sold, but it's a lot of work. If you're just looking for, we've said this several times, but if you're looking for a side hustle that's going to be easy to do, this is probably not it. Maybe you should try MLM or selling Mary Kay.
Any of it's easy. I think if you're just looking for nothing hard, go work for Starbucks, right? If you need benefits, go work for Starbucks. I have a friend that left our company, and he's doing some side thing. I don't want to discuss what it is, but he's got this thing he's trying to build up. The only reason he was working at my building was because he needed benefits, and his kid's working at Starbucks. Turns out the benefits are better, and he only has to work 20 hours a week to get the benefits. If you need a job that pays you like $15 an hour in benefits, 20 hours a week at Starbucks. And he gets all the free coffee he can drink and brings home coffee and drops off Danishes. I mean, I'm thinking about it.
Starbucks.
Live off Danishes and coffee. I could do that. Work 20 hours a week.
I would weigh
benefits.
400 pounds.
Now, the coffee speeds you up, so you'd be
is that it?
Yeah, I had a coffee. Oh, yeah! That's some good coffee! And then you got to eat a donut just to slow your body down.
They were already saying tonight at the meeting I had previously that they want me to bring my special blend of coffee on Sunday morning. Anyway, I think it's interesting. Anything you're going to do, and getting back to the whole, it really did hit me, the whole hobby versus business thing, because I don't do spreadsheets. I've got sheets over here where I source stuff and I pull it out and go, yeah, I'll take that offer. Or, no, I won't take that one, depending upon what I paid for it. So I don't really think I have. I'm paying $4.95 for a business model or whatever. Now, I'm not an S corp. It's just a DBA or whatever. Not even official DBA. It's just my social security number because, again, I think I'm treating it more like just something to try to, I don't know, have to do.
I'm glad you brought that up because I just remembered that I have before May 1st, I have to submit my annual report.
Yeah.
And it costs like $150 from January 1st to May 1st. And if you go May 1st, it's extra $400. So it goes from $150 to $550.
Yeah,
I forgot about that until we just talked about it.
I don't recommend going full-fledged, ladies and gentlemen, to an S corp or an LLC to start with. Honestly, unless you're making more than $10,000 a year on this business, which Ben's is, by the way.
But I don't need it. I read a bunch of stuff before. So when I jumped in with 2 feet in front of me, bought a bunch of stuff, was like, hey, this is going to be just... I started an S corp, did all this stuff. I really didn't need to do any of that. I should have just let it ride. But now that I got it, I can't really stop. So there is some good tax.
You can, but it's more... You can, but it's more trouble. Because trust me, we just shut down my... I've gone to work. I was working for myself outside of eBay. I had my own insurance agency. It was a S corp. We just went through all this shutdown, and I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's like to shut it down is like writing a novel. It's like buying a house. All the things you have to sign and go through and file, and it's ridiculous. So if you've got it already or you set it up already, I'd recommend that you stick with it and just. But I do think that you need to be more organized. You basically being in logistics and having to run warehouses and all that, you have your stuff categorized. Technically, your wife could, if she needed to go find an item based on your inventory methods and package that item and ship that item out. My wife,
Yeah.
on the other
Now,
hand, would be digging through box after box to find something.
listen, you walk in right now my garage is messy. Because I brought in a whole bunch of more crap that I bought that I didn't need to put in there and fill up a bunch of space I didn't need to fill up. But beyond that, all my inventory that is listed is in totes. Everything's numbered. And then I have 3 shelves, one this way, one here, and then 3 shelves on that wall, all with boxes. And then there's a ship station that's all set up. I pick everything, take it, set it on my ship station, and then pack it out there. And then I print the labels individually. Some people will batch print their labels, but I'm always worried I'm going to screw that up. So until I get to the point, I'll figure out something better when I get to the point that I'm really busy, so that way I'm not printing a label every time. But actually, I could probably set up 3 different stations and then just get a bunch of employees. No, I'm just kidding. But I have it all set up. Anybody could pick it with 15 minutes worth of training. So that's the way you got to be. You can't just say, oh, it's in this tote over there in the corner, somewhere in there. No, it's got to have a number on it. Although today, 2 of my items, I transposed the numbers on. So that was, but I figured it out right away. I'm dyslexic. I know what I did. Instead of 18, I put 81. So if I go to the box and it's not there, I go, I bet you that's 18. And then I go to 18 or 81. I go to 81. There it is. Every time. If it's not correct, it's because I'm dyslexic. But for the most part, that only happens every once in a while. It just happened to happen twice today. It works out.
See, I also only have 105 items. You have 20,000 items.
I only have 1,300 items on eBay.
On eBay, I'm glad you finished that part right there.
No, I have. Right now, in the garage, I probably have another 5,000 items I need to post that are just in the garage, not even talking about what's in the freaking storage unit. I just keep buying. I have a problem. They need to start eBay's Anonymous, or what's the opposite of that? Alcoholics Anonymous, eBay Anonymous, where you're just like, I'm a hoarder, but my wife won't let me keep it in the house.
Your wife needs to take away your whatever you're using to order with.
My money, You can't take away my money.
Wait a minute. You're in the wrong business, sir. You are in the wrong business.
In a year and a half, since the first dollars I just spent randomly. But everything else that I have bought because I've sold it. Now, I don't have any money in my bank account.
You're going to have to invent automation just to take your pictures.
Yeah, I learned how to clone myself.
Yeah,
That's what I need to
what's
learn.
that old movie, Multiplicity? Do you have that
Yeah,
one?
Multiplicity with Michael Keaton. That's the greatest movie. Yeah. Then end up with a pizza joint because they can do all the jobs. And the problem is, though, we're starting with the last one with me. If you've seen the movie, you'll get that. If not, go watch the damn movie.
Yeah. He's probably got it available, sealed. I was looking through some of your
I
items.
don't. No, but hey, this is my new favorite item. And if you haven't seen this movie, you need to see this movie. Screwed.
I like how it's got an exciting
Norm
Pizza
Macdonald.
Hut offer on it.
I know that actually. I think that makes it worth more. Norm Macdonald and Dave Chappelle and Danny DeVito. It's the best movie you ever watched.
Is that Danny DeVito with hair?
Yeah, it's just a great movie. But this one's sealed and it's in perfect shape. I'm going to send this to be graded to keep for myself. I have another one that I bought that was sealed. This one I actually bought at when I was in Atlanta. I went to a thrift store. I found this. Paid $6 for
I'm
it.
away on vacation and I am.
But you can even see it has the inserts in it. I think this is the original. The original. And it's perfectly sealed. And it's clean. Usually a lot of times you get sealed like... I think this is worth money. Donkey Kong movie. I never even heard of it. Donkey Kong Country, The Legend of Crystal Coconut. It's completely sealed. Children's movie. I'm not sure what it is. But you see how it looks dirty? Like if you look at it? Usually sealed movies don't look that great. This one's worth grading. What else do I got over here? Oh yeah. Some kind of crappy. It's sealed, so I bought it. But I'm excited about that. It's up there with my other actual graded ones. Like Apollo 13. Tom Hanks. I got 3 Tom Hanks movies that are sealed and graded. My goal is to get every single Tom Hanks movie ever.
Why?
I'm a big Tom Hanks fan.
Okay.
Because I met him once.
Okay.
I met him one time. He's a cool guy. I'm like, all right. And those ones I got because they were on sale on eBay.
See?
I like Tom Hanks. I don't know.
I think he's funny. I think he's a great movie. I think a great actor, and I think he's produced a lot of great movies. Can you read it?
Watch Repair Kit.
Yeah, it's a watch repair kit. I did pick this up on Amazon for $20, and I must say, it has really helped because some of the pocket watches that I have gotten, the back has been stuck, like you can't get it off. Now, be careful. You guys know I'm getting into pocket watches. Some of them screw off. So if you take the tool and pry one that screws off, it's not worth anything anymore. So you got to know what you're looking for, and you got to know what you're. So I recommend a couple videos, watching a couple repair videos and stuff like that. But it really has. I've got one pocket watch that I was like, I guess this one's just screwed. Got this kit, it popped it right off. It's also got a bezel kit in here. Now, I didn't buy the cheapest one. There was some that are like $11.95. They don't come with the little tools to pop the bezel off. So I've got one that is a semi-decent watch. In other words, it's probably, right now, it's probably a $40 watch.
Did it come with the eye thing?
The thing he's using right here?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
No, that's in the picture. That's the coolest part of it.
It didn't come with the Borg eye thing.
Yeah, I know. You got a Borg eye thing. That's cool.
But I've got a little thing I've got that's holder that has a magnifying glass on. But anyway.
We don't want to talk about our little things.
Here's the scoop on this. I bought the one that's $20. I wish I'd have bought the one that was $50 because while it does have the bezel removal tool, it does not have the correct size bezel tools. I don't know if I can find a new one, so I'm going to try to source a new one first, or a newer one, maybe one that doesn't work that's got the same bezel, because if I can repair the bezel, it all of a sudden puts it up about $100 watch. So again, you hear Benz and I talk a lot about having the right.
What's the bezel? Is that the glass?
That's the glass. That is the glass.
Just want to make sure in case anybody was wondering.
Benz and I talk a lot about having the right tools, and you're going to have to invest.
So you bought that from Amazon, right?
I did. I bought it from Amazon.
Send it back. Get your $20 back, and then buy the other.
I've already opened it, and so I'm not.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that.
It doesn't matter if you forget. Okay.
I'll just buy the other piece and do it. If I decide to do it first before I go buying it and popping the bezel off, I've got to see if I can find one that matches. Because here's the thing, too, ladies and gentlemen. Take West Clocks, for instance, one of the semi-name brands on a pocket watch. Not every bezel is going to fit. Why? Because a lot of your more expensive pocket watches, the bezels, they may have been handmade, or they may have been machine made for that particular style. So just because it says this or says that, you got to make sure it's the right one. So you got to do your research. So I got to see if I can find one for this 1920s watch that I got, and then if I can, it's in good shape. See if I can buy the piece and get it out without cracking it, and then I'm sure I can get the cracked one out. It's cracked, for crying out loud. If anything, I'll just
rip it off.
Yeah, I'll just bust it on out. But you want to make sure that you can do it. So there's lots of things like that. And when it comes to paintings, a lot of the paintings that I have, you can buy them cheaper if the frame's messed up. Be careful about that. But you can repair frames. You can. It's not as difficult as you would think. There's a lot of stain markers out there, and there's tips and tricks to maybe you and I should do a podcast one time when we do it where we're showing how to actually repair something, because I know you've repaired some things too.
Yeah, we could do that. And
you can buy things. If you can learn how to repair the stuff, you can buy things cheap and repair it and turn an even bigger profit. You just want to make sure it's worth it.
There's a lot of things I have that I need to repair or fix or do. I just push them aside, and I have done it in the past. But the one thing that I learned about eBay this week is they have the 5th annual up and running grant program
Whoa.
where they're awarding $500,000 to small businesses. Right? So 50 eBay sellers will get $10,000 to boost their business. And you just have to apply for it. So it just started, came out 3 days ago on the 25th. A couple of the podcasts I listened to in the past, a few of them have won, and they talk about winning. It really is, they're going to pick 50 people. You just fill out the form and you explain what you would do with the money, and they might give you $10,000.
What Ben's is going to do is get on his AI generator and have it write the thing for him.
Yeah. I will. I've never applied, and I've thought about it last year and the year before. What? Why not?
Well, I didn't
Anybody with an eBay that's up and selling, that has a business, that wants to grow their small business, yeah, they hand you $10,000, and I think you can do with it whatever you want.
I know I sure would.
To 50 people every year.
I would reinvest.
So we're doing it for 5 years, so at least there's 250 people that can't compete.
I would reinvest it from a financial standpoint. Let's not talk about Ben's. Let's talk about financial standpoint, building your business. You should reinvest 50% of your money that you make back into sourcing and buying anything. Now, when you first get started, you're like, that's crazy because I made $40 and now you want me to reinvest 20. What am I going to buy for that? There are several things you could. You might want to start with lots. And I think lots is a good place to start. I've not done that as much as I should. Ben's did that tremendously. That's the one thing I have not done is lots.
Hey, do you get those stuffed animals up? Those guys?
No. No. I got pictures.
You've gone to.
I got pictures.
You did?
I did get pictures.
Get it listed.
Yes, I do have
Those
pictures.
are going to sell real quick, and you're really thanking me.
But anyway, so it's not only a lot I've bought. I've bought lots of pocket watches, although that is getting more expensive for some reason. I think we're talking about it too much on. Do not. What was the Jedi thing? Do not buy pocket watches.
Yes.
Do not buy pocket watches. I wish I could do that on the people that are, selling stuff. You will sell this to me really cheap.
Or if we could figure out this whole mind control thing when we send the offers, you just go, and next thing you know, I'm going to give you 5% off, and you're going to buy.
You know what?
So we need to get some witchery.
Really, what I really want. What I really want.
What do you want? What do you really want? What I really want?
What I want is an up offer button on eBay.
Don't you want to be my baby?
No.
What?
I want an up offer button on eBay. I want eBay
Viagra
to give
on
us
eBay?
No, I want
Get it up button.
I want eBay to give us one offer a month where we can be like, you know what, screw you, and we actually offer them more than the item is listed for.
Yeah, there you go. Somebody gives you an extremely low offer, and you had it for $90. You send them back an offer that says $212.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want that.
I would sell you this to you if you give me $212.
Yeah.
Otherwise, take a walk, Joe.
Yeah. The whole best offer thing, it's great in theory, but it doesn't work as well as you'd think. Like, all my stuff's listed or best offer. And you will get the guy who gives you the crappy offer. And I just want to send back and be like, yeah, twice as much. Go away. Shut up. I'm not selling it for that. But, anyway, guess what? I got really excited this past Saturday. I was driving home from Payne to go take my walk in the woods. Something I did.
Wait, you were driving back home from
Payne to go take my
walk
in the woods.
Okay.
See, I figured this out years and years ago, probably 150 years ago. A man used to go walk in the woods, and he would just go walk to hunt or fish or chop down a tree or something. And he would he would ride his horse to the woods, or the woods were all around, and now we get in our cars, we spend money on gas to drive to places that have been set aside for us to walk in the woods. And I just found out.
I've been to your house. You live in the woods.
I've got trees, but we drove to a park so we could walk in the woods. Anyway.
So those people that had the horses didn't feed them? There was no cost in that?
I'm sure they fed them. I just think they would make fun of us for paying to drive somewhere to walk in the woods. But anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
so as we were leaving our walk in the woods, I noticed all the way down. I was like, yard sale. And I was like, and I went to walk in the woods. I had a great time walking in the woods, but it's yard sale season. And
Yeah.
I'm excited, but I have to work this Saturday, so it's great. Can't even go yard selling. But anyway, I think a big secret to this whole thing and talking about the grant is reinvesting in your company. It is. And treating and getting your item number up. Okay, so let's go with this rule. If you and I are selling the same number, so let's do some quick math here. If you and I are selling the same number of items, so let's say, what is that, like 1%? Is that what we settled on? You sell like 1% a week?
Yeah, 1% a week.
Okay, so if you had 5,000 items, you'd sell 50 items a week.
Yeah. I think that's the key, man. There's people out there with 10,000 items.
No, the right items, you only have to have 100 items and you make 10 grand a week. But
Yeah, true that. But selling coke and methamphetamine is still illegal. We're going to stick with 80s. So the running grant, just so you know, if you're interested, it's now through June 7th, 2026 at 6 p.m. eBay small business sellers in the U.S. are encouraged to apply.
so apply, folks.
The seller will be asked to give details of their small business and how they plan to use the grant. eBay is looking to identify sellers who represent a diverse range of backgrounds, bring their unique experience to inventory in the marketplace, and are committed to the communities and eBay ecosystem. Apply to learn more about it. Oh, you know what? It's been a good show.
It has been a good show. There might be, I don't know how long this show is going to be when it actually ends up, because there may be a lot you end up cutting out.
All right. Thanks a lot for watching. It's been a really interesting.
Maybe he'll save
got
our
anything, Dad?
maybe he'll save our bloopers one day, ladies and gentlemen, and play them for you.
There's some really good ones. All right.
All right, later, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.